Hi, and welcome to the ReReview, where we review reviews so you know what reviews to view. I'm Jared.
And I'm David. This week, we are going to see what makes a ticket to Hawaii so hard in 1987's Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Then we'll answer last week's mystery review and riddle you another one.
First things first, here's this week's ReReview. Horrible attitude. The guy legit yelled at me for making him wait 5 mins because I had bad signal. It isn't worth it. Please don't give another cent to these jerks who enjoy making girls uncomfortable and yelling at them in the middle of the street. You can get this food anywhere.
I'm going to stop you right there. The review says you can get this food any here.
Oh yeah, wow, did not even notice that. My brain just automatically plugged the W in.
It is amazing how your brain does things right. Clearly, that's a problem. This reviewer, or not necessarily a problem, but a gift that this reviewer does not have. I actually know the place they're talking about. It is a local hole-in-the-wall Chinese food place. It's one of those places you'll look up on Yelp and it will have the $1 sign next to it.
My
quite
favorite
frankly,
kind of place.
yeah, if you could give it half $1 sign, that's this place too.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Attitude-wise, that's interesting. I will admit to having a few drinks. You know what? Even after doing the reviews, I have gone to this place where it's like, I want to get food, but I don't want to pay a lot and I don't want high expectations. And quite frankly, that's what you get with any Chinese food place where they have pictures of the food all over the wall. It's that kind of spot.
I mean, that's where the you can get this food any here part comes from. I'm guessing just like anywhere you see pictures of the food on the wall, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, you're basically getting the same food anywhere. But this reviewer does bring up some very interesting questions. Let's see. The delivery driver is yelling at her in the middle of the street. I'm curious about that.
Are we sure that it was a delivery driver? Because that's not even mentioned in the review.
Oh, yeah, this is just some jerk. It actually might not be food. I may have actually picked the wrong review. This may actually be a review for a jerk. And this guy, rather than follow the standard practices of jerks on demand, new business idea, by the way, write that down. Jerks on demand, where we go to you to make you uncomfortable. Anyways, I feel like this guy didn't follow the standard practice and started yelling at her in the middle of the street. But then again...
So what does having a signal have to do with any of this?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at this. It's like, they made me legit wait. The guy legit yelled at me for making him wait 5 mins because I had bad signal.
So
I don't know.
Like, how does that... So what part of the process involves making the guy wait because you have a bad signal? Was she at the register ringing up? Was she ordering over the phone?
You know, my only guess is she placed her order because this is a Yelp review. So I imagine she placed her order on Yelp and then went to the sidewalk outside to wait for the driver. And he passed by one time. She saw him and waved, and he didn't see that signal. So 5 minutes later, he comes back. But this time, she smarted up, and she's standing in the middle of the street and stopped him that way.
Okay,
and then he yelled at her.
Now it all makes sense. Thank you for putting all this together for me.
Yeah. This review is definitely creating a story where the reader is able to create their own situation.
I'm so glad you brought us a puzzle this week.
Yeah, it's the shortest stories that raise the most or
raise the most questions.
Yeah, and spark the most imagination. Because I don't know about you, But I'm seeing this. I'm seeing somebody seeing their food drive past, or maybe their jerk delivery drive past, and them trying to stop them, and they don't stop. But then coming back and stopping for them in the middle of the road.
So this picture you've painted for me has our delivery driver, again, not mentioned anywhere in the script, a delivery driver stopping in the middle of the street to make a delivery to this person.
You got it. I mean, I would really like to know what this jerk did to make her so uncomfortable. Well, I guess, he's making her uncomfortable through some means. However, it's not necessarily mentioned that it is the yelling that this driver is doing.
No, it has to be. It has to be exchanging of food and money in the middle of a street that's probably busy.
If I ever get a delivery and a guy steps out of his car and he is, let's just say he is doing some very inappropriate things with his hands, maybe doing a 5-knuckle shuffle with my food in one hand, himself in the other. If he steps out of his car and starts yelling at me like that, I would be very uncomfortable.
I mean, he wouldn't even have to yell. If he just got out of his car like that, I'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah. So if you were to review this review, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10 out of storytelling.
I don't know. There's a lot left to the imagination.
And sometimes you need to use your imagination.
I'm going to go with a 1 out of coherency. But a 9 out of interest.
Ooh. Wow. This person earned that.
Yeah, they tried. Or,
Yeah.
Well, not that hard, honestly.
Yeah. Hopefully not as hard as the driver, because everything I said, that is what I picture now.
Yeah, I can't look at this review any other way. It doesn't make any sense unless it's that.
This place is only a couple minutes from my house, like walking. So I'd still order from this place and get delivery just to find out what happens. And you can bet I will be in the middle of the street waiting for them.
You got to try the middle of the street exchange.
Yeah. It's pretty hard to tell a story like this and not picture somebody masturbating. But do you know what else is hard?
Getting that ticket.
Getting that ticket to Hawaii. That's right. So, again, I am so excited about doing this review because
man, I can't wait.
It was one of you guys, one of our viewers, who told us about this movie, who led us on to this movie. And upon watching not even the trailer, but a couple 2-minute clips of this film, we saw it and we went,
wait.
Yes, this needs to happen. So, I don't know about you, Jared, but I'm ready.
As ever, ready.
Let's watch this trailer.
Try to get them through customs. We don't have to worry about customs or the Coast Guard.
Who could find that thing? Look, the door's open. Freeze!
some nutcase in front of us.
Man, he must be smoking some heavy doobies.
Look out, he's got a gun. Jade, how about your head?
I've been better.
Let's get that turkey. Hey, lighten up. We're just throwing.
Oh yeah? Let's see you throw one.
How about you get lost?
What do you mean?
I mean it. Move out. Hey, Colleen. Got a great ass.
Hey. Now let's have it.
This is for the Molokai cops.
It's a hard ticket to Hawaii. It's not paradise all the time.
Oh man, there's no better explanation for our feelings on this movie other than that last line. It's not paradise all the time.
This movie,
It was wonderful
it was spectacular.
in all the wrong ways, but man, is it beautiful.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna go over the pros and cons of this movie, and believe me, the cons, they just blaring you in the face. I mean, I'm not like, in terms of filmmaking, this is probably the worst movie we've ever watched.
Oh, definitely one of the worst I've ever watched.
I'm
I'm
not.
gonna say one of, because I know for a fact I have seen movies that are worse.
In terms of movies that we have watched on this channel, this is one of the worst movies we've seen. That said, I'd watch it again.
Oh, absolutely.
This movie, it's the most fun movie we've watched. Just
I mean,
It-
we had some fun with XXX State of the Union, but man,
yeah,
not this
there's
much.
there's something about bad action movies. But that said, we know XXX was not trying to be a bad action movie, but it was, and I think that's what made it fun.
Mhm.
I don't know if this movie was trying to be a bad action movie because I'm not too familiar with what was coming out in '87. I think
So-
we had when did the first Predator movie come out?
Oh God, that was before '87, I think. '84? Oh, I can't. No, it had to be later than that. Oh, we'll look it up and then we'll edit it in.
Yeah, actually, Predator, the first one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that came out in '87, so the same year.
Same year.
So good action movies were happening. Of course, they had their cheesy one-liners like Schwarzenegger throwing the biggest knife you've ever seen through a man's chest, pinning him against the wall.
Stick
with
around.
the line. Yes.
Oh, enough of the Schwarzenegger. There is two big muscly goons in this film for your entertainment. And I'm not sure what they were doing at any point in the movie. In fact,
Hey,
I'm not sure what anybody was doing.
Hey, ask me one of the characters' names. Ask me if I remember any names from this movie.
Hey, Dave, do you remember any of the character names?
No.
Okay.
Jimmy John. I remember Jimmy John.
Hold on. Do you remember the shape of their breasts?
You know what? I actually think we saw more nipples, male and female, than we heard names in this movie.
You know, I'd be willing to take a bet on that.
Yeah. So nipples. Breast, exposed women's breast. It happens a lot and without warning.
Well, and there are times where you feel like, oh, wait, here we go. It's coming again. And then it doesn't. And you're like, oh, thank God they had some. And then it happens.
Yeah. So just a few wild cards are thrown in here. Just boob after boob. It just happens a lot. Is it a problem? We'll cover that in the cons.
Right now, we're talking about why we loved this movie.
Okay, let's go into the pros. Why was this movie great?
Action. Lots
It had
of
action. It had action.
explosions.
It had explosions. And a lot of things which shouldn't have exploded the way they did, they exploded better than ever imagined. Some things which shouldn't have which should have exploded a lot more than they didn't explode that much.
Oh yeah. And
Was it a problem? No. This movie's fun. It's fun. Like Schwarzenegger's line, stick around. This movie is filled with one-liners. Did any of them stick around? No.
Wait, no,
Except for one.
Wait. They didn't stick around. Did any of them make any sense?
There was one that I've actually, I believe has been used since this movie was filmed. Life's a bitch, and then you die. Did it have a place where it was used? No, not at all.
So
No.
it may have seemed like I was throwing a con in there. Don't be discouraged. It was part of the enjoyment. Like, the one-liners making no sense is so much funnier than a well-delivered one-liner that makes sense for the scene.
I do believe Schwarzenegger, he had a point in what he was saying when he stuck that man against the wall.
See,
I
cringy.
will use that point. Yeah, cringeworthy one-liners. These one-liners, they're not cringeworthy. They're just there.
Oh no,
They are just
they are so cringeworthy you can't help but laugh. It's wonderful.
They are about as random and as nonsensical as every breast in this movie.
So I guess what we're getting to is that the plot is real unpredictable. You can never tell what's going to happen next.
I don't know what the point of any of that was. It started off with marijuana farmers. Then there were diamond smugglers. And then the ending happened. Also, there was a snake. There was a snake which was infected by rats that were injected with cancer. That
Yes.
is all I know.
Legitimate truth. This actually happened.
Why did it happen? Why did anything in this movie happen?
It happened because we enjoyed it. It was done entirely for our enjoyment. It didn't need to make sense. It just had to put a
Absolutely
smile on our face.
Everything did. It was so much fun. This is what we've been looking for. There are bad movies which are painful to watch, and you finish them and you go, I hated it. I never want to see it again.
I want to get that time back.
Yes. This movie, we were drinking during watching this film. I do apologize. I
A
do not
little
condone-
less than I usually do, because it didn't need it as much.
Yeah. It was so much fun. It was great. Like, I didn't need to drink to get through it. It just made it better, I think. And you know what? If the director, Andy what's that name? What's his name? Whatever this guy's name is.
Andy Sidaris.
Andy Sidaris. Okay. Continuing with the pros. It made its female actors strong. They kicked ass. They were great. Also, they had these scenes of men with women's names and women with men's names, and it didn't make a deal out of that. I feel like in that sense, this movie was progressive and ahead of its time.
There were actually a couple moments that we picked out as being particularly progressive amidst the rest of it.
Okay, now it's time to go into the cons. And remembering the name of Andy Sidaris, in terms of progressive or ahead of its time, he was, without a doubt, a chip off the old Harvey Weinstein block. I mean, Harvey Weinstein, I don't believe he appeared in many of his films. Andy Sidaris appears in the majority of his films. And he
usually has some sort of lecherous old man.
I feel like he was around Harvey Weinstein all the time, listened to what this director said, and threw that into his movies. Yeah, he is without a doubt the sleaziest, most scumbag of a director and actor and writer I have ever witnessed. Now, he is also the writer and director for this film. In addition, he is an actor in what was that called? The
The movies that he actually acted in?
Yes.
The Bear Wench Project?
Yes, Dick Big Dickinson.
Yeah, Dick Big Dickian, yes.
Yeah, he plays that same character in the Bear Wench Project 1, 2, and 3. He is a scumbag. I don't know what he's like in person, and we'll probably never find out. He, unfortunately, I suppose, passed away in 2007 at the age of 76. This was before all this stuff was coming up with actors, directors, or people in a position of authority taking advantage of their those below them. I don't know if he did.
I mean,
look into that later. But the way he treated like him in his movies, the way he treated the female actresses, deplorable. It was an immediate turnoff. And the way, and he wrote it that way. He wrote his, and just as it was a step forward and ahead of its time in terms of women being in a position of authority, in a position of power, he brought it back like a dozen steps.
So I just realized he actually got his start televising the 1968 Summer Olympics.
What?
He won an Emmy for directing the Olympics on television.
Huh.
And then this is how he spent his money.
Yeah.
So thanks. Thank you. Actually, no, thank you for spending that money in such a way. I'm not going to go back and enjoy the 1968 Summer Olympics, but I will absolutely go back and enjoy this monstrosity again.
Yeah, I would watch this again. It's garbage. I love it. Him aside, though, what else is bad about this movie? Basic camera work. Now, I always harp on white balance. It was correct in this movie, and I feel like that has to do with the equipment which they were shooting with.
Old equipment.
The old as dirt equipment. I mean, it was 87, but still, they're shooting on film. They recognized that they needed to use a proper white balance for all of their shots because that's the way the equipment was. So they stuck true to the equipment at the time, and good on them. That said, every other bit of camera work they do in this movie is
Janky.
garbage. Oh.
The focus.
Focus, just what you're supposed to be looking at in any scene because everything is blurry. What?
Oh yeah, so I was about to say the way they would pan the camera, but then I was reminded of a pro that we for some reason forgot about. The intro credits are so good for this movie.
Never seen better. Just from the way they transition, using boxes and forklifts to show you the opening credits. Bravo.
Yeah.
Not nearly done enough.
Yeah, no, it looked great. The ending credits? Now we're back in con territory.
That's where we're going back into. Oh, by the way, just in case you forgot, you saw more boobs than any issue of Playboy magazine. Here they are again. Wow.
Let's see, what else is
What else is wrong about this movie?
Oh, God.
Shot continuity. The basic
The
fundamentals
Frisbee.
of writing, line delivery,
the snake itself.
the snake itself. I feel like you could talk about the snake a lot.
No, I'm not sure who is greasier in this movie. Anyone, wielding big muscles or the snake.
Yeah. There was a lot of spray tan used in this movie, and it left a sheen. Was it more glistening than the snake? We'll let you decide.
I mean, if you watch this, and please do.
You can find this movie for free. We did the same thing. It's worth it. It's free and it's worth it. There are movies out there that are free, or perhaps you already have a subscription to watch it, like something on Netflix or Amazon Prime, and we have watched those movies, and they are not worth searching for. However, Hard Ticket to Hawaii is without a doubt the most worthwhile venture you can take
In the land of free.
in the land of free. From the opening music, Hard Ticket to Hawaii,
Oh, so good.
it encapsulates everything that made the 80s great. This movie is pure 80s.
Pure, unadulterated 80s.
All the 80s.
Actually, pretty much adulterated 80s, now that I
Yeah.
think about it, yeah.
I mean, I would say with the occasional breast, but that would imply breasts don't happen all the time
Yeah,
for
in the
no
80s.
reason.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, I was just barely alive. This movie was made when I was born.
Yeah, it's a little bit older than I am. And it makes me wish I could go back in time and watch these movies as they came out and appreciate them for what they were at the time.
Yeah, without the without the adjusted eyes of civil rights and all that jazz.
Yeah, and a basic understanding of shot sequence and storytelling. So, how would you rate this film?
Oh boy, I gotta start off with a 10 out of beautiful. Hawaii is absolutely wonderful, and they did a great job of showing off those wonderful scenes.
That's where the majority of the budget went. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 out of boobs.
Yeah, I'd say that 7. Yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah. Was there a variety of boobs in this movie? I don't think so, but there were a lot of them.
Oh, I also got to give it a what the hell out of plot.
Yeah. Now, in other movies we've watched, I've said I don't care, and I've meant it. I've meant it. But this movie, it had so many what moments.
So
It
many
made it kinda
moments.
great.
So many moments that they didn't care if they threw away.
Yeah, they were just like, well, film costs money, and I'm not wasting any money on this film. So, here you go. You deal with this.
Yeah,
It was glorious.
it was
Would I
glorious.
recommend this movie? Would I recommend this movie? Yes. 100% yes.
Which makes us 2 for 2 in the last 2 that we watched. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm
Now,
so
that's
happy.
it. But the last movie we watched, it was good. And it was good, and it was good. Because it was a good movie. This movie was garbage. But it was
Delightful.
the most polished turd in a golden toilet.
Oh no, that toilet. I don't know that it was gold. Yeah, no, Hawaii is. Yeah, okay. I'm following your logic.
It was a golden toilet. It hadn't been cleaned in a while. The golden toilet was very dirty, but it was made of gold regardless. And the turd was polished.
The turd was shiny.
There was the story polished? No. Was he acting polished? No.
No.
Garbage. I loved it. I hated everything, and I loved what I hated about it. Yes.
Like most
Would I
of my
recommend
exes.
this movie? Would I recommend this movie? Yes. Watch Hard Ticket to Hawaii. You will not regret it. Okay, so we're gonna move forward. We're gonna answer last week's mystery review. So, just a recap. As described, haven't tried them yet, but they look the thing. Not sure about any cons. Definitely, you get good value for the money if this is what you're after. Good build quality and nice packaging. I hear you all just like, yeah, we know you're talking about a lockpick set.
Of course.
Because that's obviously what it is.
Isn't it always?
What else would it be? I mean, just listen to it. It. Not sure about any cons. Haven't tried them yet, but they look the thing. Okay. What else would they be?
What else could look the thing?
Nothing else looks the thing, but lockpick. And now, your much anticipated mystery review for this week. And again, if you think you know what it is, comment here or hit us up on Twitter at _ReReviewers. Now here's your mystery review. My daughter used it during last month. The item's still in good working. Feels and hands nice. Rotates smoothly. Now I know you've already guessed what that is. But for the first person that types this in and answers correctly, whether on Twitter or right here, you can count on me sending you something. Or maybe I won't send you anything.
Sounds ominous.
Oh, it could be anything. I'm going off the writing style and delivery of Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Oh, what a great plan.
Yeah, just completely nonsensical with no clear concept of what I'm trying to say.
Just like this
And-
non sequitur.
Yeah, precisely. And I think, going through the style of a Hard Ticket, let's go into
Next week.
week's movie.
Next week, we'll be watching 1979's Capture of Bigfoot. Now, I know absolutely nothing about this movie, and Dave won't tell me.
I can't tell you anything about it. Do you have any idea how much research I've done into this movie without actually watching it? I've tried to find a trailer. I've tried to find a better synopsis of this movie. There's nothing about it. It's nothing.
How can we promise the people something we know nothing about?
This is what we're going to promise you. We are going to watch a piece of garbage from 79. But then again, perhaps it's not.
Yeah, maybe
But I
it'll
am-
shine.
I'm counting on garbage, and I hope you will be here
Yeah.
to listen to our review.
If-
And
if-
you know what? There's no trailer for it available. I have to make one. That's just gonna happen.
And if you don't want us to talk about garbage anymore, go ahead, send us ideas for new movies. Or, if you see a review that you think we need to review, something that just didn't feel right, you can let us know.
Yep,
Leave us
go
a
ahead and
comment right here, or, comment on our Twitter at _ReReviewers.
That's all we got for you. Catch you next time.